Good morning from Jonesboro, Arkansas. 10:49 a.m., March 14th, 2023. This is, what part is it? Maybe part 5? It'll be in the title. Part 5 or part 6 of the Park to Shift issue with my 2017 Chevy Volt. Okay, I'm back. I had to go open a file. But anyway, I'm going to recap. I'm not going to spend much time on it. Those of you that have watched the other videos know what's going on. The second generation Chevy Volt has a problem. If you put it in park, it doesn't always recognize it and tells you to shift to park, and you can't shut the car off. Before you EV haters say, I told you those things suck. It also is a problem with the Malibu and some other gas cars. It has nothing to do with the fact it's electric. As you know, if you watched the previous videos, I went to Central Chevrolet right here in Jonesboro, and I showed them this paper right here, the service bulletin that says, right down here, it talks about the issue, and it says, note, specific to the Volt model, repairs are covered under the Voltec warranty. And all Central wanted to tell me was the Voltec warranty doesn't cover things like this. It's for the battery and the and charging components. I said, I know that. But it looks like after the fact they had so many problems, they voluntarily put it under the Voltec warranty. They would not look at this. I got one guy to look at it out of about 3, and he just looked at it and goes, huh. And then that was it. And they cared nothing about this. And they kept insisting it wasn't under warranty, which it may not be. There may be something about this I don't understand. But they would not address this bulletin at all. And it really irritated me. And they couldn't care less about, they just knew they were right. And maybe they were, but I don't think so. But I'm always holding up open the possibility that maybe I am wrong and they are right. But they couldn't explain to me about that bulletin. They couldn't explain it. They didn't even try to explain it. They just ignored it, act like it wasn't there. And so anyway, everybody on the internet tells me this thing is under warranty. People have gotten it fixed under warranty, says it's under warranty, and they say dealers will argue with you because they don't know it's under warranty. But if they look into it, they will see that it is. Central Chevrolet didn't care to look into it. They just stood their ground and says not under warranty. Now maybe they looked into it in their eyes, like looked on the computer. There they are typing on the computer. Oh, no, it's not our warranty. $480. They wanted $400 something to fix it. I scheduled it, and the more I thought about it, the more I brewed on it, the more I thought I don't want to give them any money. And so I called Glenn Sane in Paragould, Arkansas. And they used to have an EV mechanic. I got the first generation Volt fixed here, got the heater problem fixed. Carvana's insurance company paid for it. Their warranty company, excuse me. That was a few years ago. Then last I knew, their EV mechanic quit, or something happened. They didn't have one, and now they've got one again. And one thing I like about Glenn Sane, they're the last dealership I know of that does not charge a dealer fee. Oh, except for CarMax. I found out recently CarMax in Tennessee don't, but they said one is coming. And maybe Glenn Sane does now too, but the last I knew a couple years ago, they did not charge a dealer fee. Most of them around here charge $200 biggins for the privilege to sell you a car. And so anyway, I called them, and the lady said, yeah, I just talked to the chief mechanic who's EV certified. He says he knows exactly what you're talking about, and we'll have to take a look at it, diagnose it, and fix it for you. But he did not address the warranty thing. I asked the chickadoo on the phone. She said she didn't know anything about it. I have to talk to him. And so I went ahead and scheduled it. But then, look at this. I got so many tabs open here. Oh, down here. Look at this. I noticed something on here. This also tells the technician how to fix it. And look at this. I noticed this. Look right here. Important. Clean the park switch electrical contacts is a very critical part of the repair procedure. Ensure these steps are not overlooked. And I looked for this because I read on the internet somewhere that if you were to hit this little plunger right here, that you normally hold it down to change gears, if you click it 50 times, it'll sometimes, I forgot what they said. They may have said it clear away a sensor. They may have said it'll do something. But I watched a video where a guy just took this apart and cleaned it real good, and he said it fixed it. But then in the comments, he said the problem did come back. And I think it might have been there. Someone said, well, if you click this doohickey a bunch of times, that'll also help clean it out, and it'll work. And I don't remember if they said it'll work forever or for a while. I'm betting they said for a while. And I have no idea why I read it, so I can't show it to you. But anyway, it says Clean the park switch electrical contacts by doing: depress the actuation rod fully with your thumb or a trim stick. Actually, I think they're talking about this thing. I must have misread it the first time because I just clicked this doohickey. I don't know if that does the same thing or not. Release the actuating rod by sliding your thumb or the trim stick off the rod, allowing the rod to snap back to its full up position. Repeat 50 times. Okay, and yeah, I misread this the first time. I just clicked this thing 50 times. But it fixed it for now. It was doing the shift to park thing every 4 to 5 times. And now I've put it in park probably 10 times since then, and it hasn't done it yet. That does not mean it's fixed. I'm not stupid. It's not fixed. It just seems to have done something temporarily, unless that's just a coincidence. And it could be, but it'd be a mighty big coincidence to be able to do it 10, 11 times and it not show up yet. Okay, that's all we need of that. Now, here's what I considered. Now, I made an appointment here, but I canceled it this morning because of that. Because I just don't want to go through the whole warranty problem again, even though it's not fixed yet. If it shows back up and I keep the car, then I'll call Glen Saying to reschedule. It'll be as simple as that. But here's some cars I've been looking at. And the reason I've been looking is because I'm sick of dealing with this, A. And B, the $4,000 used EV tax credit. Make sure you call a tax attorney and don't listen to anything I have to say about this, because I'm not a tax expert and I have no idea what I'm talking about. All I know is what I've read on the internet. Hybrid and electric car sales south of Nashville in Franklin, Tennessee. About 4 hours from here, 4.5. And they put up some FAQs about the used EV tax credit. Now, this isn't the only place I've gotten this information. I've gotten it other places too. But here's what they say. Must be purchased from a dealer. I knew that. I knew that was the case. I did not know it had to be a model 2022 or older. Price of cars be under $25,000. I already knew that. But I did not know this, excluding taxes and fees according to them. They do not charge any fees. They're like Glen Saying at this place. Buyer for personal use. Income requirements. I did not know this. You can pause and read this if you want to. Does not have to be full EV. I didn't know that for sure, but I thought that was the case. It has to have a 7 kilowatt hour or larger battery. If it plugs in, it will qualify. Ooh, I wouldn't have put that on there if I was them. What about the Prius plug-in? I'm not sure it has a 7 kilowatt hour battery. It might, but I doubt it does, especially the one before the Prime, the one that you would seriously get about 10 miles off of if you plugged it in. Tax credit, maximum $4,000 or 30% off. Now, I could have swore it was 25% off, but I would trust this guy before I would me, because where did I get that 25% idea? I have no idea where I got it. That's just something I had in my mind. So if this is right, and if you qualify, you got to have, what he don't put on here is you got to have this much tax liability or you don't get squat. And you can't carry it over to future years like you can with solar panels. So if you buy something for $16,000, if this is right and you qualify, that would normally be $4,800, will be $4,000. You buy something for $10,000 and it should be $3,000. And speaking of that, here's what I thought about buying. But my wife is not too keen on the idea of me buying a car with over 100,000 miles on it. She don't want me to be stuck somewhere and not be able to walk to get help or something, I guess. I don't know. But look at this. This is a good deal from a dealer. Really good deal. $99.73 if you want to go to Nashville and pick this up or have it shipped. And it's got the rear view camera, which is a must in the Gen 1. It's got 105,000 miles, and these guys completely check out the battery, allegedly. Here's the website. It's hybridandelectriccarsales.com if you want to check this out. But here's what I could do. I have enough equity in my car where we could pay cash for this and get rid of that car payment. And I could drop it to liability insurance if I wanted to. That'd be something I'd have to consider after the fact and think real hard about. So, and I like the car. I don't like it as much as the second gen, but I'd rather have this and no payment with 105,000 miles than mine with a payment with 55,000 miles. But my wife, nah, she'd probably rather me have mine, even though she's not a big fan of my car. So give these guys a call if you're interested in this, because I'm telling you, from a dealer, this is a really good deal, I think, especially if they really checked it out like they say they do. And I talked to the guy on the phone, He seemed like a really nice guy. Oh, it's got heated seats too, and I think heated steering wheel if I remember right. $9,900, no fees. This is a good deal. Tell me in the comments if I'm nuts. So I considered that. And let's look at what else I considered buying. Here's the CarMax in Memphis, Tennessee. And here's the one in Germantown. Germantown is supposed to be a little bit nicer. It was when I was a kid. But I like the one in Memphis just because you go over the new bridge instead of the old bridge. Yeah, in Northeast Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, we call this 60-year-old bridge the new bridge. It'll forever be called the new bridge. I don't care if it's 200 years old because it's here by the Bass Pro Shop and we like going here. If you're ever in Memphis, stop by the Pyramid at the Bass Pro Shop. It's really something to see. And you can go up to the top if you want to. And I saw Kiss perform here many years ago. I saw Rod Stewart perform here. It used to be a venue for concerts. Rod Stewart was phenomenal. So was Kiss. But anyway, that's another story. And there's the old bridge. Let's look here. I consider this a 2019 BMW i3 because it barely fits under the $25,000 tax credit. So after my tax credit, if we got it, and I think we would, but with the government, you never know what kind of stipulation you accidentally violate to disqualify you. That'd be $21,000. They offered me $19,000 for mine. That's $2,000 difference, which is a bargain. But now they dropped mine to $18,000 because the offer expired and I had to redo it. So $18,000, if we got the EV tax credit, it's $3,000 difference. That's still a great deal. But here's my problem with the BMW i3. These tires are so small. There's only one company that makes them. And they cost, without mounting, about $800 to replace these 4 tires. And the worst part is the tires only last about 20,000 miles. 20 or 25,000. For me, that's about 3 years. But it still would be irritating. But this will go about 150 miles on electric. And then you have a 2.4 gallon gas tank to hop along until you can fill it up again. You can get it without the range extender, which with 150 mile range, I think I maybe rather have it without it because this creates a whole lot of problems. You got to get the oil changed, and BMW oil changes are not cheap, and it's something else you got to worry about tearing up. But anyway, I considered that because it does have the big screen, and it's just a really nice car, but I don't know. I don't think so. So then I considered this, but it's just too expensive. I just simply can't afford it. It's as simple as that. Full electric, 31,000 miles, and it does not qualify for the tax rebate. So it was pretty much out. I put it in my favorites just for kicks and giggles because I would be interested if I had more money, but I probably wouldn't because of not being eligible for the tax credit. But it's nice. I like it. I like Kias. I consider this. I didn't know this thing even existed. 2018 Kia Optima plug-in hybrid EX. It's very hard to find one, it seems, with this right here. This big glass piece right here. And it does open up, at least to about right there. And I watched a few videos on this. Man, this is such a nice car. This is such a nice car. Very nice. It gets about 29 miles of electric. I'd rather it get more. And of course, I don't care for white. And it does qualify the EV tax credit. If we got the whole $4,000, then we would be trading for about $2,000 difference, which I think is probably, I might do that just because it is such a nice car, nice riding. It's got heated seats, it's got air conditioned seats, and it's got, I just like it. I just like the car. I would like to try it. I thought about that one. And I looked at this one, a 2017. It's about the same. And it doesn't show the price, but it is $21,998, but it's probably sold. It's reserved for now and it's probably going to sell. But it doesn't have all the features. It doesn't have that thing, and I don't think it has cooled seats. It has heated seats, but not cooled seats. And there's a few other features it don't have. So I probably wouldn't buy it. But it's such a nice car, it's worth considering. A big car and a comfortable car. But I'd be going from about 50 miles of range to about 30 miles of electric range. That might be irritating. I consider this a 2019 Mitsubishi, but man, this is so freaking expensive. It's the only full size, or not, maybe not officially, but close to full size SUV that I know of that plugs in, that you can get used without paying the price of new ones. Toyota RAV4 fans can't get those unless you want to pay out a freaking fortune for them. Here's a problem with a lot of these cars have chargers right back here. Do you know why that's a problem with people in a wheelchair? If I go to a public charger and you have to back in, that's where my wheelchair is going to go. How am I going to get my wheelchair out? That's a problem. I could probably leave enough space to get the wheelchair out barely and still have it reach, but what if I can't? You know, and I'm going to do a video someday on the problems with handicapped people at public chargers. The problems are plenty. But the world's not a perfect place, and I don't expect it to be. I don't expect the world to bend over to accommodate me. I bend over backwards I don't expect the world to bend over backwards to accommodate me. That's what I meant to say. But this is a four-wheel drive plug-in hybrid. And it gets, if you get 2019 or above, because a bigger battery, 2019 and above, has more powerful engine, and a bigger battery is the only one I would want. Plus, it has a third row. It has a third row that's hidden in the floorboard. The 2018s don't. But it gets about, in summer, you can expect a third row right here. You can expect about 30 miles in summer. And then it gets a lousy 27 miles to the gallon. This thing weighs over 5,000 pounds, so efficient it is not. I wouldn't get it probably as much as I like it. It's just too expensive for something that inefficient, and it doesn't qualify for the tax credit. And you got the problem with the charging port, which that same problem exists with the BMW i3. I probably just wouldn't charge it at a public charger. I'd probably just drive the gas. And it's probably not something I would buy, but I would, every time I watch a video about it, I'm like, oh man, that's nice, that's nice. And I think, nah, I guess I better not. And then right here, 2017, I actually scheduled this one to go look at and possibly buy the 2017. And then I canceled my, I canceled it because of a few reasons. One, has a small screen. I really want the bigger screen, which means it has the technology package. The screen is ugly, it looks outdated. And some other issues about it. But the price is right. It was $24,000, $23,998. They dropped it $1,000 about the time they dropped my value by $1,000. So it's a wash. So if I got the tax credit, I'd be trading for $1,000 difference. Only 18,000 miles. But this one, instead of 150 miles, it goes about 110 miles, has a smaller battery. If I could go up there today and trade with $1,000 difference, I would do it. But there's the problem with, am I sure I'll get the tax credit? Am I sure I'll qualify? You know, but that's what I've been considering. Just so y'all know, and I know this video is long, and I know 90% of you are already tuned out. Those that stuck around, thank you. And that's about all I'm going to say. I'm not getting the car fixed for now. I'm just going to drive it and see what happens. And in the end, I'll probably keep the Volt because it's the only thing that makes sense economically without a written guarantee I'm going to get this $4,000. Even though I think I would get it, but I'm not sure that I would. I'd be worried about it. So unless I can trade without that $4,000, I'm not going to take that $4,000 into consideration trading. Well, I may get taken to a small. Okay, I'm a horrible communicator. I'm trying to say I might consider it a little bit, but I'm not going. It's not going to be like, well, I'm buying it because what does it matter? I'm getting that $4,000. Not going to be like that. I'm going to be like, boy, I'm buying it. I sure hope to goodness I get that $4,000 if I were to buy one. But the cost of the tires. The fact that, I'm afraid about maintaining that BMW expensive engine. A few other things. Man, this is such a shark. I love this car, though, because it's unique. There's not another car that looks like this. And some people say good because it's ugly. I like the looks, and I like cars that are different. I like cars that are unique. You know, one of the things I don't care about the Chevy Volt, it looks like a car. It looks like a nice-looking car, but it looks like 10,000 other cars out there. Actually, millions of other cars out there. It does. There's nothing unique about the looks of this car. And I like things that are unique. This, it looks different. All right, I'm going to shut up now. Okay, but there you go. That's the update. And unless something changes, it'll be my last update. All right, that's it. See you later. Bye.